Bro, how are you?
You're good, man. How are you going?
Yeah, good, brother. Good. Just just sort of reacclimatizing to being back in Australia.
How's that going? How are you
Yeah,
adjusting?
been a bit rough this time. Yeah. It's been a bit rough this time. Just coming, just coming off the back of such a sick, massive tour. Like I think we did like 45 shows or something this time, and and getting to there's just the hugeness of the shows. Playing, some of the craziest kind of venues you could imagine.
Mm.
Yeah, it was kind of, yeah, I felt like I was in another world or something, which was awesome. But yeah, coming back to cold old Victoria after that, an awesome summer in America was yeah, it's been a bit rough.
Do you get the post gig blues or post tour blues? Because you get so you're up here and then it's just back to normal. Do you get that? Does it hit
Yeah,
you?
a bit. Yeah, it's been a bit. Yeah, it's definitely been rough this time. That's for sure.
Mm.
Yeah, it's nothing unmanageable, but it's been, yeah, it was sort of, yeah, it was just kind of weird going from all of that stuff and catering and 50 crew people and trucks and buses
Yeah.
and semi trailers and all of that sort of stuff, and then I'm sitting at home in my lounge room here in Victoria in the cold, sitting there by myself. It's
Yeah.
like, what the hell's going on? But all good though, man. No, it was such, like, on reflection now we've been back for a week or two. It was an incredible experience, and yeah, looking forward to just getting back into it and playing some shows this weekend.
Yeah. Following up real quick. I mean,
Yeah.
of course, it's a second part of your young person's guide to King Parrot album tour.
Yes.
And man, kicking it off up here in Queensland. It's a good way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, man, absolutely. Yeah. Well, we wanted to get some warm weather for a start, but
Mm.
like on the first part of the tour, we kind of, I guess it was kind of a strategic thing. It was like we knew what we were going to America and doing all that stuff, so we kind of wanted to you know get some touring in and play some of the places that we could play, and then the idea was always to come back and do the rest of the country. So that's what we're doing, and yeah, it's no better way to kick it off than coming up to Queensland, man. Especially this time of year, man. It's much needed after the last few weeks here. It's like it's cold and dreary, and we're looking forward to going for a swim and putting our shorts on.
Yeah. Oh, well, of course, you're playing Moe's
Yes.
this time next week. Well, but it'll be this week. Yeah, time
Yeah.
travel. But you got the beach and stuff, so I guess you and the boys can go have a dip, and then home.
Yeah, we will. We go. Yeah, we got the sunny coast on the Friday night, so
Mm.
we'll be hanging out there. We'll go have a dip there, and then yeah, we'll go down to Brisbane, play Crowbar on Saturday night, and then the Sunday Arvo show, which we're super stoked we could do on the Gold Coast. All ages and all that sort of thing. So yeah, it's exciting, man. It's gonna be cool.
That is because do you know why? There's not many all ages shows around anymore. I don't know.
Right?
Have you? I don't know how it is down where you are there, but up here
Yeah.
in Queensland, man, it's not really that a regular thing like it was 20 years ago when I was starting to go to shows and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, man. Like I think maybe like 10 or 11 years ago when we first started cracking into the touring stuff, we
Mm.
did a few all ages shows in Queensland. Well, I mean, we did a few all ages shows all over the place, but I remember we definitely did a few in Queensland, and it was it was cool. We did a tour with Die Artist Murder and Cattle Decapitation and
Yes.
Aversion's Crown many years ago, and there was some all ages shows on that. And yeah, we just kind of want to start trying to do it more often. And we often, there's a place down here in Melbourne called Singing Bird, which has really been the champion of reintroducing all ages shows to people. And it's just like every time we play there, it sells out, packs out. It's just so much fun. and we're just trying to find places that we can do this stuff at. And when Mo said that they could do it, we were like, well, let's do it, man. Let's try and make it work. And we've got we're always sort of got the old magnifying glass out, looking for places where we can do that sort of thing. So yeah, we've got another. We just announced one in Melbourne too, at the Leadbeater Hotel. So we found a place where we can do some all ages stuff down there as well. So that's going to be great as well.
It's super important, man, for that next generation. I mean, I know there's little hardcore communities that are picking up here in Brisbane and stuff like that, and they're finding their own ways around. Like, we played Lismore last night with this band called Stench Pit, and they're only young kids, man, and they were fucking awesome. So this is the next generation that's coming up, man, and they're at that age where, some of the drummer was like 15 years old. He can't just go and walk into a pub and start, they have to, stay out. So it's important. I think it's important, especially when, bands like King Parrot coming through and, including the young generation as well. You know what I mean? Young person's guide to all ages shows.
Yeah, right.
There you go.
Absolutely, man. That's what it's all about, man. It is. It really is. You're right. And we're always on the lookout for new up and coming young bands to play with and doing all that stuff. And when people reach out to us, we always like check out their stuff and try and get them on bills and do the best that we can in terms of supporting the scene, like people have done for us. On on a bigger scale, like we're doing stuff with Pantera and all the bands that we've toured with internationally over the years, and they've been looking out for us. They're like, oh, we see what you guys are doing. We like what you're doing. We like, we want to give you a chance to get out there to more people. So, it's just how it works, right? You just got to keep paying it back.
That's right, man. That's right. You got to keep bringing them up.
Yeah.
Metal. Yeah, it's super important. And, of course, it's been a few months since the album came out. It's a fucking great album. You're going to be playing a bunch of new tracks off that as well? Like, have you added a few extras?
Yeah, man, absolutely. Yeah, we're gonna work on the set list tomorrow night. But yeah, we've pretty much got everything. Like, all the songs that we want to play, we can play. We've got them down. It's kind of it's kind of weird when you get into the album thing, and when you do your first record, it's like you write all the songs and they're the songs that you've got, and you get to you kind of get away with it a little bit more. You can road test those songs and people, they're just like, oh, you're a new band, and you get to play all those songs and then they all go on to the first album, and then you hopefully introduce more people to the band, right? And then you do your second one, and it's like you kind of got to write them, but then you kind of got to hide them, and work on it. You don't have that privilege, I guess, of being able to road test it like you do the first album. You got to hide a lot of it. So it's kind of weird, but yeah. So you got to, and then you got to like if you're not playing them, like some of the songs that we're going to play on this tour, we didn't play on the last tour, so we've got to relearn them and do all that stuff. So it's fun, man. But I mean, it's a great position to be in, and we're just grateful that people give a shit and come and see us play. It's awesome.
So you're at that stage now where you guys have got a pretty decent back catalogue to choose from with songs, and you're playing big shows over in the States with Pantera and stuff. Obviously, there's going to be people coming along there that haven't seen King Parrot before. Did you find that? You get a lot of the people that hadn't seen you before coming up going, oh, hey, man, how you going? Like, I dug through the back catalogue and I found this song that I really love, and you just go, oh, really? Have you found over in America they sort of gravitated towards some of the songs that you wouldn't necessarily think that people would from the back catalogue, or is it working different areas, like the different albums their favorite, or the new stuff was going off? Like, how was it over there?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, you get a lot of you get a bit of everything. You get people that have obviously been with the band the whole time, like from the start, and then you get people that have never even heard of you, and they you win them over by doing the live show. So, and then we get, like quite a few people that had just jumped on with the new record, as well. So, it's kind of cool that you just get that broad spectrum of people that are getting into it. But I mean, we just saw with the merch sales and things like that were just going crazy, and we just thought, wow, like we must be doing something right with the delivery of the live performance, because the stuff that the merch sales and the way that people were supporting us over there was like it'd never been like that before. So that was a win, I guess. I mean, you can only kind of judge it by that, right? I mean, if someone's willing to buy a shirt, then that means that they're in.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
That's how you get them.
Yeah, that's right. But what we also, we did a few different things, like especially on this tour, when you're playing these huge venues, some of them were like, like the sort of like basketball stadiums. Like we played at the Forum in LA, like where the Lakers used to play, and we played at T-Mobile Arena in Vegas. And so that was sort of more stadium kind of venues, right? But then a lot of the other places were like, they call them the sheds. So they're like those amphitheater kind of things. They got a big roof, ginormous stages, and they're amazing, like 10 to 15,000 capacity kind of places. And, what we found when we toured with Pantera earlier in the year, when we did the Pantera Power Trip thing in Europe, we just noticed sometimes when you're playing the fast stuff, like, like we're obviously a very fast band. I kind of felt that some of it kind of got a little bit lost in translation in those big venues, the grind kind of stuff. So this time we took a different approach, and obviously we're still going to play songs with blast beats and all that sort of shit, but we tried to play a bunch of the songs that had slower parts and slower tempos and things like that, so that people could really sink their teeth into the riffs and just, I mean, we're always going to blast in every song. That's a given, but we kind of deliberately played songs that were a little bit more digestible, I guess. And people were able to hear the clarity and the chunk in the riffs and stuff like that. So we found that was a really good strategy, playing those massive places, and that people were able to really, sink their teeth into what we were doing.
How's it go with merch and stuff over there when you're touring and doing like 40 dates and you're running out of merch and you're trying to get merch everywhere? Like, how does that work? Have you got people on standby, or have you just got boxes and boxes and boxes that you're trying to ship around? Like,
well, we always have a massive trailer, so we've always got, like, we always order enough, like, to, what we think will be enough. But I think about halfway through on this one, we were like, oh shit, we're gonna run it. Like, there was a couple of shows, I think it was when we played in Salt Lake City, and merch sales just went bananas, and we were like, we're gonna run out. Like, so yeah, we made another order that got delivered. Then it just kept going crazy. And then I think when we got down to like Phoenix, we had to get a guy in Phoenix to like print us another 500 shirts.
Wow.
And then 3 days later, we got another shipment, so it was like, it was just a lot of logistical shit, trying to make it work so you didn't run out, so you got something to sell, so, but I think we had enough stuff, and we had a great tour manager, merch dude, and all that sort of stuff, so we were okay, we were fine. It's just the challenge of first world problems, I think they call it.
Good problem to have, though, when you're selling t-shirts. It's it is a good one. It's a good one. But man, you played with Acid Bath as well, right?
We did, man. Yeah, that was like the very first show of the tour, and we knew we were going over for the Pantera tour, but I saw that we were starting the week later, and I saw that Acid Bath show in Brooklyn, and I said to our booking agent, I'm like, man, there's an Acid Bath show there, and it's only got one support band, which was Pentagram, and I said, can you just ask their booking agent and just see if, like, maybe we could jump on, because if we can get that Acid Bath show, we'll come a week earlier. and we'll come over and do that. And next thing I know, we were on the bill, and I was like, oh my God, really? So yeah, so that was really cool, and so we got to do that, and I was just like kind of super excited, really, I guess, for our drummer Max. Our new drummer Max, his first show in America was like at this sold out 3,500 capacity, a beautiful theater in New York. It was incredible, and I was just so happy for him that he got to play such an amazing show, first show of the tour, and it just really set a great It was such great energy in the room, and everyone's so excited about Acid Bath, and just to play a small part in that whole thing was incredible. And they're in such great form, such a great band. Great Dax is a great singer, like unbelievable voice, and the band is on fire. So that was really cool. And seeing Pentagram as well was, yeah, that was something else as well.
And he did shows with Squid Pisser as well.
Yeah, we did a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, we did 4 or 5 shows with Weed Eater at the start as well. After the Acid Bath show, we did some shows with Weed Eater, and then we met up with Pantera, and we did 4 shows with them, and then they took a 2-week break from their tour.
Yes.
So they all went home, and then we kept going, and we played a whole bunch of shows with Squid Pisser and another band called Bonginator from I think they're from New England, Boston maybe. And so we just went out and we just played every night. We did like 14 shows in a row with those guys. Went all through the Midwest and up the North, and then up to Canada, and had such a great time with them. And Tommy, the main guy, the vocalist from Squid Pisser, is in Guar.
Bad dude. Yes. Yeah. Tommy. Yeah. Hey, shout out to Tommy. He's a good dude. He's a real good dude.
Yeah, and he is a great guy. And we just got along so well with those guys, and had such a great time with them. And there's definitely talks about doing more stuff together. So they're super keen to come out here. So we've got to try and work it out. But I know Guar are coming out here for good things. So
so we just don't let him leave.
Yeah, right. We just keep him.
Yeah. He'll go to there, but we go, nah, just get the rest of the boys here.
Yeah. Well, they all play in other bands as well.
Yes.
They play, and some of them they're playing some like pretty successful bands and stuff. Like they're A1 musicians.
Yes.
Like let me tell you that. And they're well worth checking out if you haven't. They're just such a freaky, creepy, weird fucking band.
I love them.
Yeah.
So I'm a big War fan as well. So that whole world to me, I'm all about it. Especially amazing stuff, man. It's just it's out there. It's great, and we've sort of built some good friendships with that crew. That's awesome. And I mean, when you were over there, obviously there was the news that Ozzy had passed away. I could imagine that would have been pretty heavy at the time. How was that? How was the vibe out there when he passed?
Yeah, it was. I think it was pretty shocking, really. Just considering everything that had happened. It was like, it just felt like, I guess he was holding on or whatever, and then all of a sudden he was gone, and so it was a bit somber, I guess, but the way that and obviously there's lots of people in that Pantera crew that were close with him.
Yes.
So there was, not just the band, not just Zach and the guys in the band, but also the crew, because a lot of the crew people and the behind the scenes people are interchanged with other bands and stuff. So a lot of them had a long history with Ozzy, and it's just like so sad, just super, super sad. So we obviously, some of the stuff had to get rejigged. A couple of the shows got canned and then rescheduled and things like that. But the vibe was pretty high in the Pantera camp, really, like considering all of that, like, and all of that stuff that had happened. They kind of used it as an inspiration almost to keep pushing on and keep going, and knowing full well that's what Ozzy would want, of course.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of love and respect, and dedication every single night, every show, and just people just paying their respects and just being cool about it. And yeah, it's super sad, but his legacy is just out of control. The outpouring of love was like nothing I've ever seen in my entire life. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, we felt it down here, dude. It was nuts.
Yeah,
It was wild.
yeah, yeah. I was that was like just before we left, and I watched the whole back to the beginning
stream.
thing. Yeah, I stayed up all night and watched it. It was amazing. It was so good.
Man, it was rough the next day, I tell you.
It was, but it was
just,
worth it. It was worth it.
It was.
Yeah.
We had it, man. We had it cranked. I was at my mate's place down the road, and we had it fucking so loud that like the walls, the neighbors would have been fucking hating it. But man, was it worth it? Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally was. Totally was, man. It was great. Yeah. It was so good.
Man, that's awesome. And of course, outside of King Parrot, you've got another project, CrisisAct, right?
I do, yeah.
What's the status of that?
Well, the status is, we haven't done much and that's been mainly my fault because I've got a record sitting there. Like I have a full new CrisisAct record sitting there that Joe and Dave Haley have sent me that I haven't done anything on, and I don't know why I haven't done it. And I'm gonna do it. Like I've got like 11 songs, I think, or I think it's about 11 songs. It's just sitting there, and I think I've done one, and I'm gonna spend some time between now and the end of the year, and I'm gonna try and get it finished. And get it back to them so Joe can weave his magic and get it finished, and we can do another CrisisAct record. So yeah, I mean, we have fun with that, and putting it on a 7-inch is really cool. Like I think it's going to be really cool having this collection of 7-inches that we've done over the years. I think it's going to be great, and so I got to get my ass into gear and get it done.
Yeah, awesome, man. Awesome. I'm so keen.
It's great.
Is it a different sort of mindset, and going in to write that stuff compared to King Parrot? Like, do you have to switch modes mentally?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, kind of with CrisisAct, I kind of just go with the first idea that comes to my head, and because I'm sitting here just sort of doing it on my own in my little studio setup that I've got here, like. It's different, it's just a different vibe. We're not in the room together. We're not jamming. We've never even played in the same room together.
Yeah, wow.
We've never had a jam. We've had some offers and some ideas to play some shows and things like that, and I'm always all for it. But those guys are busy as well, and it's kind of hard to get everyone in the same place at the same time. But I think there's certainly no reason that we would stop doing it. And if with the opportunity and the planets aligned to actually play live at some point, I would love to, because I like the songs. I think some of the songs are great, and some of it's just super fun. And I think it'd be really just cool to see what it was like live, or what it felt like to even play in the same room. Because it's sort of weird doing it like this. I got to admit, it's totally weird. I've never done anything like that. So, but for now, I've got a record there, and I've got to write it, and I've got to do the vocals on it, and I've got to send it to Joe. So that's where I'm at. I've been kind of procrastinating on it for a while, and the time has come. I was sort of thinking about it when we were in America, and I was like, I've got to do this record. We've got to make it happen. So that's going to happen.
Fuck yeah, count me in, dude. That's sick.
Yeah. I love doing it, man. It's like when they were, Joe's like, oh man, I've got some demos. I want to send you some demos. And I'm like, and he sends me these demos, and I'm like, dude, that's not a fucking demo. That's finished. That's an album. Like that's, I'm like, that is album quality. That's not a demo, bro.
He's like that. Hey, I like him a lot. He's a good dude, but he's super smart, man. He's so smart. I could imagine he doesn't do anything by halves, eh? Like,
No, not at all, man. He's great. He's so humble and quiet, and just he's a great guy. I really, really like. I love both of those guys.
yes,
They're awesome. And when they asked me to do it, it was like, of course I'm going to do it. I mean, you don't say no to the Haley brothers, when they, I mean, I know they're super busy and they play in a lot of bands and they do a lot of stuff, but just for me to be able to have that opportunity to work with them and do that stuff after being friends with them for such a long time as well, it's a really cool thing to be part of. And like going back to the original question, it is a very different experience to writing with King Parrot, because we're a very jammy kind of band. We're in the studio a lot, spending time working through the riffs and working through vocal parts, and where, getting feedback and stuff about where, if someone comes up with a riff, for example, like if I can't get an idea straight away, I'll, ask whoever wrote the riff to give me what they're hearing or what they think or what they, and then I'll run with that. But it's I think King Parrot is a much more organic and collaborative beast, in that sense, as we all have input into the structures and some of the riffs, or the every part of it, really.
That's awesome. And man, what's next for King Parrot after this little run? What's going to happen?
Well, there's a bunch of stuff that's going to happen, but I can't say too much about it yet. But we're just going to get through this year. We're going to get through the year, man. I mean, look, we just had the year that I don't think we could ever really. I couldn't ever have thought, well, we're going to tour Europe and the US with Pantera, and we're going to play at Wembley. We're going to play at, all these stadiums around Europe. We're going to play at the Forum in LA and other stadiums around America. Like, there's no way known I would have ever thought that was in the realm of possibility. And that's been our year this year. So, I mean, we could just hang up the boots right now and be like, we're done like that. I'm happy. Every box has been ticked, and then we've drawn some more boxes and ticked those ones as well, so, but we're going to keep supporting the record. We've got a few little things, we've ticked off on a couple of little shows that we're going to do early next year in Australia that haven't been announced yet, and then we've got another tour coming up that we're going to do overseas next year too, but it hasn't been like, it's not fully signed, sealed, and delivered, but it's getting close. So we're working. That'll be, that'll be sort of announced probably before the end of the year. So we got some stuff coming up, man. It's looking good, man. The future's looking bright.
That's what we want, mate. That's what we want.
Yeah,
no,
absolutely,
not stopping,
man.
Not stopping.
Yeah. Nah, man. It's like, what else are we gonna do? I mean, what else are you gonna? I mean, when you have those experiences like we've just had, like, you just got to kick yourself sometimes and go, wow, this is just incredible, and it's like, it's, when you're a kid and you dream of doing that stuff and you want to do that stuff and you go, well, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
And, that's what I want to do with my life. And then you get to do it, and it's like, it's just incredible, and the thing that I guess I'm most proud of with our band is that, like, we've really not, like, compromised anything to do this stuff. That's the thing that I'm probably most proud of, is that when it comes to our sound and anything, we didn't, like, sell out and become like a metalcore band or a hardcore band or anything like that. And there's nothing against any of that sort of stuff, but this is the sort of band that we are, and we've made no compromises with that. And we've gotten, if anything, we've gotten worse, we've gotten heavier and faster and nastier over the years, like, we haven't sort of taken a backward step and gone, oh, if we just do this, maybe, it's like, it's been nonstop, foot to the floor, intensity, and building our brand and what we do, and just trying to get it out in front of more and more people. And I think we've been, successful in doing that and taking that to bigger audiences, and it's great to be able to sort of start seeing the rewards of that.
Yes.
I mean, it's not like we've only just started doing it, but, like or started getting that exposure internationally. But it's nice to be able to keep doing it, especially after that big COVID conundrum where the whole thing stopped and everyone was like, oh my God, like, what are we going to do? It's nice to be able to pick up where we left off and keep going.
Absolutely. So no ballad? No ballad coming? No slow, King Parrot love songs, slowed down, power back? No? Okay.
I highly doubt it.
Fuck
highly doubt it. But I love mellow shit too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like I love talking of Acid Bath earlier. Like I love that new Dax Riggs EP that he put out, the 7 songs for Spiders. I don't know if you've heard that.
I haven't heard it. No.
Oh, dude, you got to check it out. It's unreal. It's amazing. Like when it first came out, I couldn't stop listening to it. So I'm into all that sort of stuff as well, and and I'm open to doing more musical stuff that's mellower, that's not like King Parrot too. So I want to do stuff like that too, and I've got a few people like I've been sort of talking with and jamming with, or not jamming but sharing ideas with, and when the time's right, and we're not going so crazy like if that ever stops. I'd like to be able to do some other stuff, because there's so much more to what I like to do musically than just screaming people's ears off.
That's an interesting answer. I'm actually interested to hear what you would cook up there. That's for sure. But
yeah, man. Yeah, well, hopefully time permits, and we can do something else, some different stuff. I played in lots of bands before King Parrot, so yeah.
That's cool, man. That's cool. But man, in the meantime, we're going to be seeing you up here in Queensland this week. Well,
yep.
Anyway, I'm going to put this up like tomorrow, and then it'll be this week.
Yeah.
By the time this goes up, so it'll be time travel. But brother, thanks again for hanging out. We'll see you at Mo's for a good old throwdown.
Appreciate your support as always, brother. Thank you so much, man. You're a legend.
No worries. Yeah, and good to see you again, man. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. Be good to see you in the flesh.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Sunday. Avenge the Dead are playing as well, huh? Hey, that one.
Yeah.
Mates of mine. So that'll be.
Yeah. We were kind of like, we were just sort of like, a couple of different bands hit us up, and they were like, I'm like, fucking do something different and get some some dudes on there, and they seem cool. So
awesome guys, man. Awesome guys. So that's cool. Yeah.
Unreal, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, have a good rest of your night, and I'll see you this time next week.
All right, you're a legend, man. Thank you so much.
No worries, brother. See you.